Hey guys, I'm back. And look, there's Tato. Hey Tato! Hey Tato, you look so serious. Why are you looking so serious? He's a serious guy. Anyway, I'm back, and I need to start this video with a shout out and a thank you, because without the help of a fellow YouTuber, it would not be happening. And one of the things that I love about being part of this community, and not just YouTube, but the knife community, knife collectors, knife lovers, knife enthusiasts, is that it's just an amazing group of guys and gals that are always kind of communicating, looking out for each other, helping each other out. I love helping people out whenever I can with advice, with doing giveaways for the channel, with helping new YouTubers out, with their channels and stuff. And one of the greatest guys that I've worked with now and then is JT from JT's Knife Life. If you haven't checked out that channel, you should. But he got his hands first on a new Spyderco by Kevin Smock. He did a review. I was super jealous. And like the awesome guy he is, he offered to let me take a look at his, because mine is not here yet. And, just nothing in it for him but being a cool dude and helping me out. And so thanks to JT for making this video happen. I've been dying to get my hands on this knife. It has been delayed. It was supposed to come out last year. So definitely take a stroll with your fingertips on over to JT's Knife Life and take a look at the good stuff he's got going on, because I love the videos he puts out. He's a really cool dude. And the funny thing is, me and him, we have a lot of the same thoughts and a lot of the same tastes on knives, but we also have some very different tastes too. So, I really recommend you check out his stuff. Anyway, thank you very much. Without your help, this video would not be happening right now. But now let's take a look at the knife, because I'm super excited. All right, folks, so today we are looking at the Spyderco Kevin Smock, the C240CFP. I've been dying to get my hands on this knife for two reasons. Number one, I just think it's a really cool knife, great design. I really just wanted to get it in my hand and see. Number two, Kevin Smock is an awesome designer, and I love his story. And a lot of, because it matches up with sort of how I got into the whole knife thing. So if you look into how Kevin Smock came to be doing what he's doing now, in 2012, he was watching Tough Thumbs. Tough Thumbs now has a company called Tough Knives. Great, amazing, brilliant custom knife designer. But his YouTube channel, Tough Thumbs, he was doing knife customizations. Guess who else in 2012 was watching Tough Thumbs videos, learning how to do knife customizations for the first time while deployed to OEF, right? So Kevin Smock got a Spyderco Tenacious, and inspired by Tough Thumbs, did his first knife customizations. The only difference is, my first knife customization was on a Kershaw compound, but, he was a bit more motivated than me and had a different situation, and he ended up going into a, full-blown, did his own knife company. I wish I had followed in the path he did, but I always felt sort of a weird kind of connection to Kevin Smock's designs, because we sort of started in the whole knife sort of thing the same way. I'm kind of jealous of him too, but he's a great designer. And so, the story behind how this knife came to be is that, I can't remember if it was Blade Show, or I think it was Blade Show. He ended up licensing the Spidey hole and the compression lock that you see on the Paramilitary 2 for one of his own designs, and he showed it to Spyderco at Blade Show, and they loved it, and they said, "This is great, can we display it with our stuff?" And it ended up with Spyderco wanting to work on a collaboration with him. This is actually a little bit smaller than I thought it was going to be, but anyway, so it ended up with the Spyderco Smock, which is this knife here. And ever since I saw it in their mid-year catalog last year, I wanted one. And it was supposed to come out mid-year last year, and it didn't. So anyway, JT did his review. I loved his review, and when I commented on the video how jealous I was, he asked if I would want to take a look at his. So anyway, this is basically a Spyderco production version of that Smock custom knife that he showed them at Blade Show. It's got some really interesting features that we're going to look at, but first, you know, we'll do all of our normal looking fit and finish. Of course, it's a Spyderco, so fit and finish should be awesome. You know, to be honest, these scales, I'm pretty sure they're G10, but they feel like carbon fiber. So, you know, text right here what they actually are. It's lightweight. I love it. I think it would have been a great design for a full deep carry clip, but, you know, standard Spyderco clip there. You'll notice left or right, tip up only. Centering, of course. Great. I don't know why I thought it was a bigger knife than it was. I think that the design should be bigger, you know, when you see it open. But very nice. It's simple, but sort of like an elegant kind of look to it. I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's open this thing. So it's got a very unique front flipper, and from what I understand, it is probably the finest tuned, best front flipper in the world. And yes, it is. It is the best. And I'm so ingrained with liner locks now. I want to just do that. But, so here's where it uses the compression lock, but it has that button to activate it. So it's like a button compression lock, which is pretty cool. That is so easy. Oh. Front flippers are kind of a unique deal where some people are really good at them, some people are not very good at them, and sometimes they're very challenging, but this is just so easy. And the design of this is so good that it's so well balanced with the perfect detent that this is what I read up on it. There's no mystery to this. It's perfect. And look at that shape. I love it. From the moment I saw it, I loved the looks of this knife. And I said, that is just perfect. Blade design, love it. Again, thought it was a little bit bigger. I think a bigger version of this would be awesome. So, kind of a shallow hollow grind there. Beautiful satin finish. That's Smock's maker's mark on there. Now, it's made in Taiwan, but, you know, I don't think that's a big deal. Very easy to operate one-handed. You know, this is not my knife, so I don't want to go crazy flipping the blade all around and everything. But you see right there, easy to flip open, very easy to close without flipping the blade around. I guess, yeah, you can use the Spidey hole to open it like that too. I love everything about it. I love the shape from the moment I saw this. I had to get my hands on it. So it's really interesting too, because when I first saw it, you know, a button lock typically has a bar that has a recess in the bar. Almost like it looks like a dumbbell. It's got two thick ends and then a skinny end. And so when you push the bar in, the thick end is holding something in the blade. And then you push it in so that the skinny center part releases, you know, the blade. I really didn't realize that it was actually a compression lock. So really, all this button is doing is pushing the compression lock. So if you think about it, on a paramilitary 2, where you would be pushing that lock yourself, really all that's happening is you're pushing this button that's pushing that lock for you. And look how smooth that is. As soon as you press that button, the blade starts to drop. Nice. Very nice. So let's, you know what, let's just stop being in love with the knife. Let's do the standard review. So it, you know, where that choil is, it kind of almost forces your hand, pun intended, on where you hold it. Now, you can get more of a choked up grip, but you need to be careful right there. Right there is sharp. And if you kind of extend your finger, the weight, a little bit forward, you're going to cut your, like I can feel it right now, you're going to cut yourself. So that is not a choil for holding. That is actually interfaces with that button, which functions sort of as a stop pin right there when the knife folds up. You can, if you're careful, use it as almost as a choke up point, right? With your thumb on that jimping, and then middle finger kind of locks into that choil nicely. Now, for big hands, that's a nice option. But otherwise, it kind of, disappointingly to me, because I love this knife, it is a little awkward for me to hold with big hands, like so. If you have smaller fingers, maybe this works perfectly. I don't know why the choil is so, well, I do know why the choil is so far back, because of the blade design there. But it's a very far back grip, unfortunately. I would like it a little bit more forward. Now, it's not unusable. It's not a deal breaker. There's a slight awkward feeling to it right there. Now again, I keep saying I wish the knife was bigger. If the knife was a little bit bigger in scale, this right here could be a little bit larger, a proper choil. And, well, I'm saying that, but I'm not the designer. Maybe it needs to be exactly the size it is for interfacing there. But, the problem is I want to choke up on this knife automatically just because of where this is and where this is. And you can't. But I still love the knife. I think that you could get used to it very easily. Wow, that's pretty smooth. I wasn't sure how well that was going to work. But anyway, it does kind of, for me anyway, it puts my hand in a slightly awkward position where the thumb is fully extended as if I was choking up on the blade, but my finger's in this choil way back here, and there's a good about an inch in between the choil and where the actual blade starts in there. Again, deal breaker, no, because there's lots of other ways you can hold this knife to really actually use it, and you can get used to it. For the sake of using a Kevin Smock knife, I will get used to it. The blade shape is sort of, it's got kind of a curved belly in there, so I'm calling it kind of a modified sheep's foot there. I think it's great for all sorts of slicing tasks. I don't think it's got the weight for a good chop there, but I don't think this is a chopping knife anyway. I think this is more of an EDC type blade, not really a hard use type blade. And it's definitely not a tactical kind of knife either. I think that the amount of cutting surface you get there makes it great for just about any kind of EDC task you want to take it on, and some light kind of outdoor stuff. S30V blade, so it's going to hold an edge pretty well. It's going to give you some good corrosion resistance. I don't know how it's going to hold up if you were to take it in an actual in-the-field situation. It is very lightweight. It doesn't have a lot of heft to it. And it does come to a really, really fine edge there, so I would be a little bit worried about the possibility of some chipping on the edge if you were to really put this thing through some really hard use. I mean, it's a fine work of art. It's not a tank. It feels more like, it's like a surgical tool is what it feels like to me, as opposed to something big and rough like the military. But again, beautiful knife for EDC carry. I mean, I think that's what they were going with this size. And unfortunately, I want to compare this to another Spyderco in my collection. All my Spydercos are not in the collection drawers right now because I have been rearranging all of the drawers. I have not gotten to the Spydercos. In fact, I don't think I made it past... haven't made it past the R's. I'm redoing them all alphabetically by manufacturer. So, I just don't have them available right now, which is killing me for this review. Love the action, though. Super smooth. It feels very comfortable whether you want to use the Spidey hole. That front flipper is amazing. I have never used a front flipper that was just that smooth and effective all at once. The balance and the weight feels great. I can't lie to you guys. I was biased in favor of this knife before I even opened it. It's been a dream, kind of, not really like a Grail knife, but I've wanted it for so long that I'm having trouble being impartial. I think that if it was another knife, I'd find some more flaws with it. You know, just the fact that I've been after it for so long and it's in my hand right now is kind of, you know, I got rose-colored glasses on. And I want to fess up to you right now. I want to say something about this, though. So they're not all numbered. The 90 on the blade, that's kind of a thing that JT does. The first Spyderco he ever had, the place where he bought it from, it came from the Collectors Club, and they're all numbered by the company, by the Collectors Club, not by Spyderco. And so it's his tradition now that he always buys number 90. So the number 90 is kind of unique to that Collectors Club. Not all the Smocks are not numbered like that. So the 90 is JT's 90. It's not Spyderco's 90. So if you were seeing that on the blade, it's not like they're all individually numbered or anything like that. But anyway, so back to it. I do think, though, my personal bias towards loving this knife aside, it does have it's lighter than a PM2. It is. I think that it's got Tato. Hello, are you joining me for a video, Tato? I think that it's got a really nice. I think it's got the potential to be a really nice carry. Yeah, see the little tiny curly. Alright. When was the last time we saw neon green in the 550 cord lineup? Probably never. Okay, so standard pull through. Not bad. I was hoping for a cleaner cut, but yeah, it went through very nicely. And our slice, very nice. Very, very nice. Let's just push down. So, nicely honed edge. And this is not a brand new factory fresh edge. JT's had this knife a little bit before. But, your hollow grind is always a good slicing choice. I could play with that action all day. I would love about 15 to 25% more length on the handle. And again, proportionately height as well. I think that would make this a perfect knife. I think that would kick the Mass Drop Perpetua out of my pocket, which, has been in my pocket consistently. One of my favorite, EDC blades. I love this knife. I think that this would absolutely rule my pocket if it was just a little bit bigger. But overall, I love the design. I love the lock. It's different. One-handed. If it was mine personally... Okay, so, and this is just, if it was mine, just some modifications I would think about. I might take it to the shop, and I might grind out a little bit more here and here, just to get full access to that hole, to make it a little bit more friendly for my thumb. Because you can do it, but it puts a little bit of a strain right around there. And if I'm going to be, using this as, a fidget spinner, we'll say, for lack of a better word, which I do with knives sometimes, just, when I'm sitting there thinking or, in the shop, whatever. I'd like to get my full thumb on the hole there. And, to be honest, I'm kind of not sure why they didn't do that. I think, actually, that's probably, in terms of modifying this myself, the one thing I would do. 'Cause mechanically, it's awesome. You could open that space up a little bit without changing any of the mechanics of the knife itself. I am not going to beat on this knife doing a lock test or anything, again, because it's not mine. So I'm not going to mess with that. I love the front flipper, but I'm enjoying opening it with the hole more than the front flipper. The front flipper is awesome, though. It is the finest front flipper I've ever used. And it's smooth and fast and easy. I really like it. The cool thing about front flippers over, your standard flippers is that once it's open, that flipper doesn't intrude, doesn't go anywhere, doesn't get in your way or anything like that. And believe me, I am not second guessing what Kevin Smock has done on this design. He knows better than I do. I wish that I could get a good, I don't know, my hands just don't seem to feel this one the way I want them to. And I'm sad for that, because I love this knife. I love his designs. His designs are amazing. I'm mad at my hands. I am angry at my hands. But anyway, it's still a beautiful knife, and I can't wait to get mine so that I can just carry it around and, you know, see if I can, you know, if I get used to the different feel of my hand being so far from the blade. And that's really what it comes down to, because with just about every other knife, you know, I'm used to the kind of ergonomic, my hand is closer to the blade. And kind of that spatial awareness of, if my hand is here, the blade's there. I think that's really what it is. It's a difference in knowing where the blade is in relation to where my hand is when I'm using it. And it's just a different feel and getting used to it. So, we'll see how that goes. So, alright guys, what are your thoughts? Anybody a little bit confused on the difference between the button lock and the way he used the button to activate the compression lock here? Anybody think it's cool? You like that idea? I like it. Wow, that's smooth. That is smooth as hell. I really like the design here. I love what he's done with it. You like it better, the same, not as much as something like the PM2 or the military, or you know, some of the other designs in kind of this size, this price range? What are your thoughts? Please now discuss. Okay. Another big shout out and thank you for JT. I really appreciate it, and I have a box of cool stuff going back to him to say thank you. Some stuff for him to borrow, and some stuff that he can keep and do what he wants with. He does some really cool modifications himself, so that's kind of why I'm sending this stuff for him to keep, just because I'm curious what he might do with it. So, alright guys, I have some cool stuff I got to get working on, but I'm really interested in what your take on this knife is. I'm just really thrilled to finally get my hands on it, and you know, if nothing else, getting to borrow his and put my hands on it confirms that, yeah, I'm really excited to get my own and put it in my rotation and carry it day to day and everything. I'm going to love this and just hold it and caress it for another couple days till I have to send it back. In the meantime, you guys are all absolutely awesome. I appreciate every single one of you. And I will be back again real soon.